And now, presented by Sprite, the 2K pregame show.
Along with the big Aristotle, Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And the pregame warm-ups wrapping up out there in Cleveland, where it'll be the Cavaliers against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, they're not satisfied with the record over the last 10 games. Under 500 basketball, just not good enough. Looking to improve tonight. We've seen a lot of new blood in the coaching ranks in the NBA the last couple of seasons. Some guys who have been around in other roles. Who grabbed your attention out of the coaching ranks, Shaq?
I was very impressed with Jeff Hornacek. A lot of people counted out the Phoenix Suns, but this team had a winning record over 500. They almost made the playoffs, Ernie. I'm anxious to see what the great Steve Kerr is going to do. He's our analytical analyst brother up here. I'm anxious to see what he's going to do.
What do you think is going to happen there in Golden State with Steve?
He's going to be analytical.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sound like an analyst.
Will that translate into winology?
Hopefully.
Yes. Let's go to Kevin Harlan as the tip-off approaches.
Wait till you're announced. We've not yet lost all our graces. The hounds will stay in chains. Look upon your greatness as you'll send the call out, send the call out, send the call out.
Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. They'll play this one here in Cleveland before the Cavaliers head back on the road. Still under the lineup is Kevin Love. They want him healthy. He's not ready yet.
Yeah, that is really tough, Kevin. You never like to hear the sound of that. They're going to miss him, and by all indications, they're going to miss him for a long time. That was the exact opposite of the news they wanted to hear.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work ahead of him, and obviously we wish him well as he goes through his rehab. You feel so sorry for the guy. I mean, you know, nobody wants to see a player go through what he's facing now, but we wish him well, and if anyone can handle it, he can.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Detroit, Monroe and Drummond there inside. Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. And it's Smith in at the small forward. And here's Jennings. A 14-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
Well, it's funny. Back when LeBron joined the Heat, some critics said he'd given up the chance to be the franchise player and carry his team. But guess what? No matter who LeBron plays with, he's always the franchise player. That's how good he is.
Now, here is Irving. Greg Monroe unable to get his shot to go. Irving dishes to Varejao. Can't convert after the good screen.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Jennings kicks to Smith. The shot's good. Jennings making the play.
Great shot. Had to fade back, but he still managed to drain it.
Cavaliers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Varejao with a screen on Smith. Varejao setting the pick for Waiters. Back to James. Just 5 on the clock. Now Varejao inside. And he bangs it home with one hand. A free run to the hoop and some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one up.
And when you got the space, hey, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always used to do.
And it's Drummond missing.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke.
And LeBron throws it down.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Outside Jennings. He kicks it to Drummond.
Andre Drummond, still just 21 years of age. The first one-and-done player in UConn's storied basketball history. And the Pistons staff say he's a sponge. Whether it's breaking down video with assistants or honing his skills, he is really a hard worker.
And Drummond came in as the youngest player in the league, Clark. Certainly a pretty raw skill one.
Yeah, but you could see the potential. And the biggest thing there, Kevin, was that he had a willingness to work. He came in early his rookie year to train, and last season he leaned on the new rookies to do the same thing, showing some leadership.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Everything appeared to be lined up for Cleveland to get back in the playoffs last year, but that just wasn't the case. A lot of what-ifs for them last season.
And with another top pick on the roster, Kevin, and a youthful team, they were a popular pick before the season to play postseason games, but they still needed some seasoning.
Irving passes to LeBron. Pass to Waiters. Varejao with a screen on Jennings. Shot's good by Waiters. And now for Cleveland. They still have the youth to grow, but with LeBron on board, the sky for them is the limit.
As are the expectations.
Now here's Jennings. Right now averaging 17 points a game. Outside Irving. Picked by Varejao. And a wide open look for Irving. And the shot is long.
And one more note about Cleveland. Everyone will now assume that they will make the playoffs this year, but the ultimate goal is a title, something that hasn't happened in the city of Cleveland for any major sport in a long time. Probably 64, I think, may be the last title.
Again, you're right on it.
And they're now 1 for 5 to start this game, so having trouble finding any offensive rhythm.
Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. What a recent stretch it's been for these players. They're the NBA's leading scorers over the last 10 games. LeBron James, number 1.
Kevin, you know, the season is 82 games long, and anything can happen. But I tell you what, if he keeps going like this, the rest of the season is going to look very good for his ball club.
Pistons trail by 7. Outside Jennings. Puts it up from 12. James with the block. But they'll get another chance. Meeks dishes to Jennings. Pass to Smith. Drummond trying to get himself free. Nice shot by Smith.
Guys, good job working it down low and getting the high percentage look there. That's good basketball.
The Cavaliers leading by 5. Irving kicks to Varejao. The drive by James. That one goes. Count it. James has got 6 points.
These defenders are not putting up much of a fight on the interior. It's been embarrassing. That's 10 consecutive points allowed in the lane.
And that's not the kind of streak you want to have if you're playing defense.
Now here is Smith. 14 points from him the last game against Indiana.
And he showed his versatility, Kevin, with the 4 blocks defensively. If I'm him, I'm looking to move the ball the rest of the quarter because he cannot buy a shot.
Here's Irving, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
He didn't make a lot of noise heading into last season's All-Star game, but boy, did Kyrie Irving put on a show when he got there. It was a playground type of game, and he dazzled everybody with his skill.
And upon winning the All-Star MVP last year, Irving said the most important thing was bringing the trophy to Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a nice nod to the fans in the Forest City, and being a native Clevelander myself, I know how much the fans appreciate being acknowledged by one of their favorite players. After all the speculation and turmoil last season, that was a nice bright spot, even if it was soon overshadowed by the return of the king.
Both free throws good for Irving.
Well, it was only recently that the Cavs fans were worried that they'd lose Kyrie Irving in free agency, much like they'd lost LeBron. Now, not only has LeBron returned, but the Cavs have locked up Irving to a long-term contract.
And the rejection by James. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession.
9 seconds on the shot.
Jennings against Irving. Jennings can't get that one to fall. And remember last season, a fan who ran out in the court was wearing a shirt saying, "Kyrie, don't go." The fans were definitely, Clark, getting nervous.
And when last season struggling with chemistry concerns, help has now arrived in a big way, and the mood around this city and the team has taken a complete 180.
Cleveland leading by 7. Raiders on the wing. LeBron kicks to Irving. Here's Thompson. Oh, he touched it while it was in the cylinder. That's offensive basket interference.
Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
And the Pistons making a change here. Butler's checked in. Pistons trail by 7. Outside Jennings. The dish now to Meeks. Now the pass to Monroe. Buries it down low. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they come in off a good outing against the Magic.
They ran away with that game, Kevin, mostly thanks to their play at the offensive end.
That's exactly right, guys. There was crisp movement by the players and the ball throughout that game, and they got a lot of high-quality shots as a result.
Well, that shot keeps them at 100% from the field this quarter.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
That was an impressive defensive performance. The athleticism, the intensity, the energy, really shutting their opponent down.
And, Steve, that was reflected in their block total. I mean, they were extremely disruptive, equal parts hustle, muscle, and smarts.
Sean Marion, he's checked in for Anderson Varejao. Marion setting the pick for Irving, down low. And it's Marion, that time on the assist by Irving. And it's a 9-point Cavalier lead. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Well, the other thing they've done well is getting after shooters. They've closed out well, and they've really blocked a lot of shots in the half. Looked like the defense kind of backed off him, and he took advantage.
The Cavaliers leading by 7. Thompson, a screen on Butler. Here's LeBron, blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. James has got 10.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
Now here's Jennings, looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's Monroe. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team.
And a year ago, they avoided any mistakes winning the season series against this club.
Marion against Butler. It's Marion with the drive. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
They've made one basket after another since getting this game started, and you wonder, is the blowout in store?
Too early to say that and go there, Steve, but it has been pretty ugly so far.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for James. Harris comes in for Dion Waiters. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. Detroit also making some changes. Kyle Singler's checked in for Drummond. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for Meeks. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Steve mentioned the success they had against them in their contest a year ago. They did exactly what they needed to do against them.
Yep, it was a solid performance from them. Most times they got together. They should have them feeling good about their chances today.
4 on the clock. And the shot is good. Caldwell-Pope's got himself on the board with 3 there.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Here's Dellavedova. Marion, a screen on Augustine. Off the pick. That's good on the jump shot. And the Cavaliers lead by 10.
Their defense just hasn't been able to slow them down.
That's a big reason why they're trailing, Clark. They haven't gotten many stops here.
The feed to Butler. On the wing, Singler. Augustine up top. His last outing, he had 8 points. In transition, here come the Cavaliers. Harris kicks to Dellavedova. Off target from three-point range.
Good glass work there. Rebounds have been a little tough to come by for them in this quarter.
Well, it looks to me like they're still finding their way out there, but it is early.
Now, here is Monroe. He's coming off a 16-point game against Indiana.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
Harris outside. Passes it to Dellavedova. There's the screen. Here's Marion. Here's Haywood, and it's blocked. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
Looking at the Pistons, Kevin, let's see how they performed over the last month in the NBA league rankings. 8th in three-point field goal percentage. 9th in blocks. And they're in the top half of the league in scoring as well. Not too shabby.
Yeah, this is a team that shoots the ball well, and I think the key is their accuracy from the three-point line. You look at that number in the top 10, as you talked about, Clark. You know, they've leaned on this of late particularly, and I think their success from the three-point line has really allowed their offense to open up and become more balanced.
It was Amundsen who's checked in for Thompson.
Second team foul. In for your Cavaliers, Lou Amundsen.
And so it's Detroit with the ball, trailing here by 8. And Augustine kicks to Monroe. Shot's good.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark. Greg Monroe, 6'11", 250, the ability to play the 4 or the 5 spot, and his combination of size and skill makes him very coveted around the league.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. For Cleveland, they have made 2 of the previous 3 free throws in today's game.
Well, this is a club that has hit about 80% of its free throws during the season. Very impressive number.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
And so Haywood nails both of them.
One of the problems for the Pistons last year was they seemed to collapse late in games. I mean, just found a lot of opportunities that went awry due to poor performances in the fourth quarter.
Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Stan Van Gundy.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes, I spoke to him about the game plan coming into this matchup and addressed the quality shot blocking they'll have to overcome. He said, listen, that can be a factor, psychologically as well as physically. The key for us is just to play unselfishly. Draw the help, kick to the open man. If we execute our offense, we'll be fine. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Doris. And dealing with the sort of defense they're facing is not an easy challenge.
No, but they've got a few weapons of their own that they can counter with, so it's not exactly a one-sided battle.
Maybe so, Steve, but those weapons are still going to have to perform at a really high level for this one.
You talk about the Pistons letting games go late. They were one of the worst teams in the fourth quarter in both defense and scoring.
Here's Dellavedova, guarded by Augustine. Kicks it to Dellavedova. Takes a 3. Rebound by Greg Monroe. Monroe's got his 4th rebound in this one. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Caldwell Pope passes to Augustine. Singler dishes to Augustine. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Caldwell Pope. No good from outside. Now Amundsen. Dellavedova kicks to Marion. And it's good. Assisting on the play with Dellavedova. Marion's got 5 points so far. And so the first quarter wraps up without too much action on the scoreboard. Cavaliers lead by 9. And we'll be back right after this.
Start your new year with the NBA. Ty Lawson and the Denver Nuggets take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls this Thursday, 7 o'clock Central.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And from what we've seen from the Cavaliers, what are you guys seeing?
Well, I'll tell you what, I like what I've seen from this club defensively. They're forcing a lot of turnovers with their quick hands and ability to play the passing lanes.
Well, you talk about quick hands, but I think it's the mindset of being aggressive and then obviously being active with the hands, tracing that ball so you can come up with deflections that may lead to steals.
Pistons trail by 9. Irving is out there with Matthew Dellavedova. Then there's Marion. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Edmondson in at the 5. That's the group for Cleveland going right now here in the second. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Andre Drummond, arguably the league's greatest combination of size and athleticism since Dwight Howard. Maybe a shade less of a leaper, but when you look at Drummond's quickness, absolutely incredible. He's 6'11", 270 pounds, and he really does move like a guard.
The Pistons have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
Well, the season numbers for this club really low. I mean, this is something that the team has been focusing on. They've got to improve.
And, you know, you don't have to tell them what their free throw numbers are. I mean, they're well aware of it, believe me.
And Cleveland making a change here. Verajau's checked in. And Andre Drummond, guys, dominant from his rookie season. It's hard to fathom how he slipped to 9th in the 2012 draft.
Well, I think people just hadn't seen enough of him, Kevin. He was very inconsistent during his one season at UConn. And obviously the shooting is very suspect, and people question his work ethic and, you know, did he love the game? But in retrospect, I mean, yeah, the Pistons got one of the best players in the draft that year.
Now Singler following the 3. Here's Drummond. The Cavaliers pull it in. Amundsen's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
Well, you get more rebounds, you get more possessions, more shots at the hoop, and oftentimes that decides the game.
And so it's Detroit with the ball, following the score by Cleveland. Now here is Augustine. He's covered closely. Clock at 6. He dishes it to Drummond. Amundsen grabs the board.
He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim. But too often, that's the story for him.
Irving passes to Amundsen. Tries again. And he lays it up and in. Verajau's got his second basket of the night.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Drummond sets the screen for Augustine. Singler left side. Smith left side. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Cleveland leading by 13. James up top. He's covered by Singler. On its way from Irving for 2. Can't get it to go. And the Pistons now going the other way. When this game is done, they'll be off to Orlando, and they'll take on the Magic. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip.
And I would think a lot of attention will be focused on that Orlando contest.
Augustine against Irving. Dishes to Drummond. No good. Nice D from Verajau.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
Got it. Nice one there from Dellavedova. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin, its speed bumps, if you will, some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite figured out how to come together.
For the Cavaliers, Thompson, he's checked in for Amundsen. And Dion Waiters subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Detroit also making some changes. Jody Meeks comes in for Singler, and it's Jennings in for Augustine. Here's Bynum. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
Then you look at the Pistons, some great size and athleticism inside, but they've lacked the high percentage outside shooting to space the floor offensively. And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd certainly call it a mismatch, Steve, at least for today.
They get a hand on it. Outside Jennings tries to snap the cold streak. Jennings can't get that one to fall.
And, you know, for the Pistons last season, you look at the size and shot blocking ability, and you thought that team would be tougher defensively. But that wasn't really the case. I think it has to be attributed to mindset. Those young, big, athletic guys have to become much tougher mentally at the defensive end to be really successful.
Dion Waiters going into last season working on playing off the ball, whether, catch and shoot, Steve, or coming off screens.
Yeah, he's most comfortable with the ball in his hands, but playing alongside Kyrie Irving, he's got to be more effective without the ball, working off those screens and learning to play with Irving.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
It's Bynum with the drive, and Meeks kicks to Jennings. 6 on the shot clock. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Jennings has got his first points in this one.
And Waiters really has tried to emphasize staying on balance with his shot. Taking better shots, better quality shots within the offense, and we saw the results. There was an uptick in his percentages from the field and from long range as well.
And the dunk by James.
Good job there by Varejao setting that screen.
Pistons trail by 18. Bynum with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Waiters. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. LeBron's got 5 assists tonight.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfectly.
And Waiters still a volume scorer. To improve his efficiency, he's got to get that free throw percentage back up and become more consistent finishing inside. But he's a natural scorer. He certainly has the talent. He's killing them with his poor shooting. The defense is more than willing to give him those shots now.
Thompson, a screen on Jennings. James with it, and Jennings picks him up defensively. Smith outside, unloads. No good off the back of the rim.
He would have been lucky to knock that shot down.
Yeah, that kind of shot will definitely get you the high eyebrows from the coach and maybe get you a seat on the bench, too.
Pistons trail by 20. Right wing. Jennings drives in. Drummond trying to get himself free. And there's Jennings. That's good on the assist by Bynum.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Irving kicks to Varejao. James outside from 12 feet out. Varejao can't hit. The Pistons shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. Bynum dishes to Smith. Drummond trying to get himself free. Misses off the right iron. The Cavaliers leading by 18.
Oh, get it! Oh, watch out now.
Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks there.
I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Well, LeBron said last season that he just couldn't see leaving the Heat. But I guess he came around. The championship foundation in Miami, but some cracks started to show, and now he's back in Cleveland.
Smith outside, feeds it to Jennings. Back to Smith. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. LeBron is running. They get it back. Good on the shot. LeBron's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out on the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He said their plan was run their offense through Smith. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Also, he was just as passionate when he told them that they needed to put everything they have into their offensive rebounding. Guys, they've got a decent hole to dig themselves out of, but still a lot of time left to do it. We'll see if those adjustments help.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Sean Marion is checked in for Cleveland. And then for Detroit, Monroe's checked in for Drummond. And Caron Butler subbed in for Will Bynum. Marion setting the pick for Waiters. LeBron drives in. He feeds it to Marion. Rebound by Butler. Pistons trail by 21. He kicks it to Monroe. Butler with the ball. He's picked up by James. The 11-footer. Shot's good. Butler's got his first basket. Cleveland with the ball. They're on a 17-7 run. Marion a screen on Jennings. Irving. Again, Irving missing.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
The drive by Jennings, and good on the basket. Book it. Jennings has got his third bucket of the night. And here are the Cavaliers now. 22 is their biggest lead. And after this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. The kick out to Irving from the baseline. There's the bucket. Good.
You know, he was smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Agreed. As long as he picks his spots, his outside shot will be hard to block, no matter who's on him.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
It takes a lot of skill and agility to lay it in with the defense right on you. That's a terrific finish.
Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Cleveland. Harris comes in for LeBron. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Jody Meeks.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Now here's Waiters. He had 13 points in the win against the Magic in Orlando. And Irving with the basket on the assist by Waiters. Waiters got his fourth assist in this one. Pistons trail by 17. Outside Jennings. Pass to Monroe. Makes it off the glass. Monroe's got 12 in the game.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Now, here is Irving. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And, Kevin, a lot of those points came at the line. So he was very aggressive with his game, attacking the D and capitalizing on those free throws. But it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's got it going now. Cleveland didn't quite meet their expectations last year, in part by how poor they shot at home. Hard to get wins when everything you put up seems to rim out.
And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And Cleveland making a change here. Amundsen's checked in. Singler, he's checked in for the Pistons. Augustine comes in for Brandon Jennings. Now here's Waiters. He's got 11. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line. So Waiters will go to the free throw line. That one on Monroe. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Cleveland. It can be doubly defeating, Clark, with the missed shots here at home. And not only are you not scoring, but then the crowd loses interest. They get out of it.
That's a great point. I mean, one of the benefits of being at home is having your crowd there energized and pulling for you. And if you're not making shots, they tend to sit on their hands.
DJ Augustine playing big minutes for the Bulls last season with Derrick Rose hurt. And I'll tell you what, he put up some big numbers at times. 27 points in back-to-back games.
And for Augustine, undersized at the point guard position, he has struggled defensively.
Yeah, and he has to compensate with his shooting and passing skills. When he's hitting shots and finding teammates, he's solid.
Uncovered. Second shot opportunity. He lays it in.
And as the game has gone along, they've gotten much more aggressive on the offensive boards.
You know, crashing the boards is really an effort thing. It's an attitude and effort thing. And if teams get tired, they usually take a break on crashing the boards. But they've done just the opposite here.
Here's Augustine. The Cavaliers making the shot. Monroe, no good. Here's Dellavedova. His last outing, he had 8 points. And that one's good. Dellavedova's got 6.
I really like the fact that he's getting the touches he needs here after not scoring a single point in that first quarter.
Pistons trail by 20. Monroe sets a screen for Augustine. Pass to Monroe. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession.
Looking at the Cavaliers over the last 10 and how they compare to the rest of the league, this is what we've got. First and lowest turnovers a game. Second in assists. And they're the number 2 field goal percentage team in the league. This is a team that has really grown in that area, taking good shots and knocking them down.
And what's most impressive out of all those numbers, Clark, is the few turnovers that they commit. Because now all of a sudden you're executing, you're putting a lot of pressure on the defense because they know they're not going to force a lot of steals and get out in transition to find easy points.
You know, he's a little bit of an unknown commodity, Kevin. I mean, he may be able to use that to his advantage, sneak up on some folks.
Dellavedova kicks to Waiters. There's 38 seconds left in the first half. Misses from close range. Pistons trail by 18. Marion with the steal. And now it's Waiters running. He can go all the way. Throws down the breakaway jam.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
Butler. And it's sent back by Amundsen. Waiters on the wing. He's got 15. The dish to Marion. Dellavedova, the pass to Waiters. Here's Marion. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Cavaliers on top, running away with it. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
What a game for Waiters. 15 points, and he's been a good on-the-ball defender, too. He's got a pair of steals.
Yeah, he's made some heads-up plays, Clark. He's done a really nice job defensively.
Checking out the group for Stan Van Gundy to start the second half. Josh Smith and Greg Monroe at the 3 and 4. Jennings and Meeks in the backcourt. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot.
It's a good thing he showed up today because without him, this team would be in big trouble.
Thompson, a screen on Jennings. Irving drives in. Waiters gets a wide open look. Off target with his 3.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one.
Meeks dishes to Jennings. There's the pass to Monroe. Shot clock at 6. Out of bounds. Cleveland takes possession.
All right, a chance to check out some stats for Brandon Jennings. What a run he's had. The past few weeks have been just tremendous for him. He's putting up about 20 points per game, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out to me about his recent performances.
Well, you think about his intelligence, the court vision, both are outstanding. Those numbers are hardly a shock, as excellent as they are.
Outside Irving. Right side Irving. The drive by James. It's tipped. Gets himself open and drills it. James has got 16 points.
They've been getting way too many high percentage looks close to the basket, and tell you what, when they're getting them, they're converting.
You know, the play in the paint, an aspect of this game that has gone entirely their way. It's a real alley-oop that time, partner.
The pass, Clark, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
Precision at its finest.
Yeah, and it all had to be perfect and in precision. That's not nearly as easy as they made it look.
And Meeks gets to Jennings. Monroe sets a screen for Jennings, and there's the feed to Drummond. The drive by Jennings, 11 feet out, and he hits it. He's got 8. The Cavaliers leading by 20. Now here's Waiters. He's got 15. Verajao with a screen on Smith. Off the screen, and And that's now 6 points for Anderson Verajao. Irving against Jennings. Pass to Monroe. Wide open look. And that one goes long.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Kyrie Irving so excited to play with LeBron James. He said, you have the best player on the planet coming to your team. Every game is going to be meaningful. I'm his point guard now. I was a 21-year-old kid just trying to learn. Now that Bron's here, I can learn how to be an even better teammate and an even better leader. Guys, over to you.
He's always had utmost confidence the Cavs would turn it around, and they're right on track.
Yeah, he's seen enough of this interior scoring that his defense is giving up. So the message during this timeout is you got to lock things up inside.
You know, sometimes a group can just get spaced out on defense. They're not connected and playing 5 as 1, and usually a timeout can help you refocus and recalibrate that defense.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
You know, it's a little strange to think of Detroit as being a team that runs, but they actually were better when they did run last year. They made good on a lot of opportunities in transition.
Smith on the wing. Kicks it to Meeks. Into Drummond. Stolen by Verajao. Irving with the ball. And Jennings picks him up defensively. Irving passes to Verajao. Kicks it out to James. Waiters gets a wide open look. Here's Thompson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Thompson's got his second basket of the game.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily strategic, Clark. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. Got to play hard, guys.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He urged his guys to get after it on the offensive glass, to follow every single shot, extend possessions, and cash in on some second-chance points. He talked also about getting the ball to their big men in the low post. That's where the ball should be going, he said. Let's get it in tight. Coach was not wasting any time and altering their strategy here in the second half. And Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Now here's Jennings. Following the miss by Anderson Verajao. Puts up the baby hook. No good. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. The drive by LeBron. Outside Irving. Shoots the 3. Detroit with the rebound. Smith's got 6 rebounds in the game. He dishes it to Drummond. No one near Jennings as he lets it fly. Drills it from outside. Jennings has got 11 points. The Cavaliers leading by 21. And here is Irving. 8 points for him. Dishes to Waiters. LeBron against Smith. 5 on the clock. This one for 3. And Waiters with the bucket on the assist by James.
How about that for a response?
He will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
Irving against Jennings. Smith sets the pick for Jennings. Poked away. Here we go. James heading to the hoop. Oh!
Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there.
Oh, great. It's not possible what we just... Clark, is that possible?
Not probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. Not
Holy
probable.
smokes.
It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
Now, here is Monroe. He's got 18. Can't hit the turnaround jumper.
A poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Thompson, a screen on Smith. Irving from long range. No good.
Well, his shot's been off today, no question. He's not the guy they're going to want to look to if they want to keep this lead where it is.
Jennings kicks to Drummond. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. And how about a look now at the top rebounding small forwards in the NBA during the past month? Number 5, Josh Smith.
You know, the work they do on the boards is such a big part of all these players' games. They play much bigger than the grand majority of small forwards in this league.
And I think it's an area that they all take pride in, Steve. They know they can score. That's expected of their position. But where you separate yourself is going after rebounds. And these guys are really determined to excel in that part of the game.
The kick out to Irving. That doesn't go in either for Irving.
He continues to struggle from the field. But luckily for him and his team, his teammates have been able to pick him up and get the job done.
Now here's Jennings. He's got 11. Monroe left side. 4 on the shot clock. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Well, the Pistons' acquisition of Josh Smith last season put Greg Monroe in a tight spot. Both players, natural power forwards, neither fit, and that showed in the Pistons' record. So a moment to see the story on Tristan Thompson. The past few weeks, he's been a major contributor. You can see where he ranks. First in blocks, and he's been a terrific rebounder as well, in the top 10 in that category per game.
And you pointed out that his blocks per game average, Steve, is the highest in the NBA. I mean, he's leading the league in that category. It's there in the low post where he's been most valuable to his team, in my opinion.
Now here's Waiters. He's got 20. LeBron drives in. Irving kicks to LeBron. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. 22 points for LeBron. And despite playing in one of the league's most dysfunctional offenses, Greg Monroe remained effective as a scorer, I thought, last season.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. A slight downtick in his numbers, but not surprising given the circumstances you just highlighted. This guy's got a nice mid-range game and does a good job on the offensive glass, too. Oh, it's been a turbulent quarter, really rough for him. Nothing going his way, but he seems determined to shoot his way out of it.
Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Cavaliers.
How about all the points they're getting off turnovers?
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
And so he hits the technical free throw for the Cavaliers. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Verejao. Marion comes in for Thompson. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Dion Waiters. And a different look here for the Pistons. Caron Butler is checked in for Monroe. Kyle Singler comes in for Smith. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Meeks. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brandon Jennings.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Harris is checked in for James. Here's Irving. He's got 9. And it's Harris off the drive. Back to Irving. Shot clock at 6. Feeds it to Dellavedova. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Piston shooting is leaving some to be desired. Just 36% here in the third quarter. Here's Caldwell Pope. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Quick hands and the ability to anticipate the opening to create a turnover, so valuable, especially for a guard. as we see two tremendous talents with their ability to steal that ball away.
And, of course, you look at the numbers. John Stockton with 3,265 steals over his career. Really a crazy number, averaged over 2 a game, and even in his later years, he was a threat in that regard.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Amundsen's checked in. Here's Dellavedova. He has 6. On the wing, Marion. He's covered by Zingler. Marion dishes to Amundsen. Augustine with the steal. He feeds it to Drummond. He kicks to Caldwell Pope. Pass to Butler. 6 to shoot. Almost, but it rolls out. Cavaliers have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. Marion with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Marion passes to Harris. Here's Dellavedova. Harris kicks to Dellavedova. Marion dishes to Harris. Here's Haywood. Here's Amundsen. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket. Amundsen's got his first bucket in this one. And, well, Detroit shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. Augustine passes to Drummond. Pass to Augustine. Butler on the wing. The dish to Augustine. 5 to shoot. Shoots from 12. Brendan Haywood with the rebound. Haywood's got his 6th rebound on the night. Well, the Cavaliers largely underachieved last season, and a big part of that was constantly dealing with distractions the entire season, it seemed.
Yeah, it certainly appeared that way. It was always something with players fighting in-house or items getting leaked to the media and causing things to get stirred up. It's very hard when those distractions are circulating for you to be effective.
Cleveland's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Here's Dellavedova. 6 points for him. And there's the pass to Harris. Shot clock at 6. Amundsen kicks to Dellavedova. Augustine with the steal. Now Detroit moving it up. Lets it go from 11. Again, the Pistons good for 2.
Tell you what, it's a huge plus to have him making shots like that.
Clark, one thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And you love to see that, Kevin. I mean, I love watching unselfish play, and I know Steve enjoys that too.
Yeah, that's the best part of the game. I mean, a 5-man team game where the ball moves, has so much unselfish play. It's beautiful to watch.
Now here's Marion. 5 points in the game. Here's Dellavedova, and count it from 19 feet away. Dellavedova's got 8 points.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Here's Caldwell Pope. He has 7. The feed to Augustine. Caldwell Pope kicks to Butler. Fader on the way. Drummond. Nice persistence to tip it back up and in.
And that's a really deft touch right there, guys.
And he just guided that ball back up and in. You know, Clark, just a fingertip touch on the ball.
Really well done.
Yeah, you don't need to catch it and gather and try to go back up if you've got that type of angle, and he really took advantage.
The rebound by Caldwell Pope.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Butler in the corner. Passes to Caldwell Pope. Baseline jumper. And some nice defense there to end the quarter. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Cleveland ahead, opening up a huge gap. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break.
It's a special New Year's Eve NBA celebration. Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans take on Tony Parker and the San Antonio Spurs. This Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific.
And so it's Cleveland with it. They've got Edwards. Haywood is out there with Amundsen. Then there's Harris. And it's Price in at the point. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Pass to Edwards. Kicks it to Haywood. Clock at 4. A second chance effort. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, even from here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, pretty obvious. And a good call by the officials. You know, the NBA continues to get better at analyzing data and charting game results. Shouldn't surprise you that players shoot better off the catch than they do off the dribble. It's a big reason passing and ball movement tends to be more effective than one-on-one isolation play.
Both free throws good from Amundsen. And Clark, you mentioned the value of passing over isolation basketball. The term has even arisen for that one-man approach. They call it, Steve, hero ball.
Yeah, I think Doc Rivers may have made up that phrase. I love it. It's so true. You can't win with hero ball. You really have to share the basketball. The game is meant to be played with 5 players moving, passing, cutting, and sharing the ball, creating good shots for each other. He's one guy the defense is not afraid to leave open from that range, and for obvious reasons.
Pass to Dinwiddie. He dishes it to Monroe. With some arc, here's your Repco, and the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Seems like they're on their heels every time defensively because the ball continues to go into the post.
Well, if they don't pick up the aggression, things are only going to get worse.
Price with the ball. Now Bynum defending. Here's the screen. Edwards, that's good.
Well, the pick worked really well there. Nice job taking it right to the 10 for the layup.
For Detroit, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started. Bynum dishes to Martin. Feeds to Urebko. In low to Monroe. Picked his pocket. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And Edwards with the stop.
Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
I'll tell you what, that is going to be an alley-oop we'll see on the highlight reel the next few days.
In the corner, it's Martin. The 11-footer. Cavaliers with the rebound. Harris with it. Well, guys, the D-League, a test bed for ideas that might, make their way to the NBA. And one thing we've seen there is a mission to get games down to 2 hours in length. They really want to shorten the length of these games.
Well, they've banned consecutive timeouts. They've reduced their number overall. The idea is to hold viewers' attention and provide time certainty for the broadcasters.
6 to shoot. Bynum drives in.
And condensing the game, we've seen it at the NBA level too, cracking down on pregame rituals and requiring players back on the court quickly after a timeout. The commissioner even talked to owners about shortening the game to 40 minutes, so less might be more in some ways. We'll see. I'm in agreement with that. I'd love to see some of the fat trimmed off the game. I don't know if 40 minutes is where I'd go, but some of the extra things that delay the game, I would love to see that pace picked up so there's not as much wasted minutes during the course of a 48-minute game.
Harris kicks to Price. Price, right side. And Bynum pulls it down. The Pistons shooting a mediocre 41% in this one.
Well, I think there's a couple of ways to shorten games. One is cutting down on the intentional fouls in crunch time. I think you could replace TV timeouts with live action advertising. Also, you might just shoot one free throw for the point value of a foul. I think the league is right to try to speed up the pace of the game, but it's a rocky road. You have to really think things through.
Edwards.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Offensive rebound. Here's your Repko. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
But the defense just looked a little lazy on the glass there.
Yeah, nobody boxing out. That's inexcusable.
Shooting for Detroit, Jonas Jerebko.
A free throw off from your Repko.
You know, oftentimes when you go on the road, you're going to have to win close games, and the Pistons really struggled in that regard, and as a result, they didn't find themselves winning too many on the road.
Here's Edwards, and that shot misses everything. Air ball on the three. And here we go, the Pistons fast break. Dishes it to Martin. Dinwiddie passes to Bynum. Outside Martin. Shot clock at 6. Shoots from the elbow. Here's Monroe, and a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket. Monroe's got 20 points.
They have a little extra mojo going here, a little extra pep in their step, more hustle in this second half. They're doing a much better job in terms of second chance points.
Price kicks to Harris. Here's the screen. Inside, here's Almanson, and down it goes, jamming that one home.
Well, I tell you what, it was the good pick that was set that turned him loose.
And once he got around it, Steve, it was smooth sailing right to the hole.
Well, because of the pick, he had plenty of room. That's why he was able to power down that slam.
Guys, for the Pistons, they are a young team overall, and that can be a factor in both road games and close games.
Well, the nerves can get to you, or you know, just a little bit of inexperience as well. So 12-29 road record for the Pistons last year. They know that's something they have to improve upon.
Now Harris. Price up top. Out to the right wing. Harris outside. That's good, and it's Price with the assist.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Inside, stolen by Haywood. And now Price running the floor all by himself. Drops in the breakaway layup.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back. Straight to the rack.
Monroe with a screen on Harris. Dinwiddie passes to Monroe. Here's Dinwiddie. It's Martin on the wing. Another three for Detroit.
A little confusion defensively.
Yeah, you know what? He sent the D a little message with that three.
The Cavaliers leading by 23. There's the pick. Price dishes to Amundsen. And that one's good. Price.
That's a perfect up and under there. That's textbook.
The Pistons have gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. Dinwiddie. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Parker. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
Price kicks to Edwards. Price, the pass to Haywood. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Monroe. Detroit's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Now here's Bynum. They set the pick. In low to Monroe. Off the pick. That's in, coming off the assist from Bynum. Bynum's got 4 assists in the game. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Price outside. Haywood with a screen on Bynum. Out to Harris. Fires the three. And another three for Cleveland.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
To the left side wing. Back to Bynum. He feeds it to Monroe. Haywood with the rebound. Haywood's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Haywood with a screen on Bynum. Here's Price. No good off the pick. For Detroit, they've got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Dinwiddie passes to Bynum. Cavaliers with the rebound. Haywood's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Pick by Haywood. Price dishes to Haywood, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
Pistons shooting it well here in the fourth quarter at 50%. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right.
Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. I mean, they're really pushing them around physically at this point.
Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Price. And then for Detroit, Drummond's checked in for Monroe. Kyle Singler comes in for Martin. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Dinwiddie. It's Bynum with the drive. There's the steal. Harris, right side. Amundsen kicks to Dellavedova.
Well, dealing with travel, one of the challenges you face as an NBA player. It's amazing just how much easier it's gotten, Clark. I know you and I both played in an era early on where there was commercial travel. Now everybody charters and flies out immediately after a game. You've got legroom, you've got catered meals, so you get more sleep, you get more rest. I think it's had a huge impact on the way NBA teams do business and just the quality of play in general.
And the pass to Edwards. Harris kicks to Edwards. Cleveland moving it around. Tipped away. Shot clock at 6. And the 3 off target. Detroit's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight.
Boy, great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, it sure was. He made a beeline for the bucket as soon as they got the ball. Right away, straight to the rim.
Cleveland's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. The call will go against Jerebko. That's foul number 2 for him.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
Butler, he's checked in for Jerebko. Now the dish to Harris. He kicks to Dellavedova. The feed to Haywood. Clock at 6.
Shooting for Cleveland, Brendan Haywood.
And that one misses.
At the line for 2.
And he's good on the second.
You know, there are around 150 current NBA players with D-League experience. The developmental league, which started back in 2001 with 8 teams, now has 18. The structure has changed a little bit over the years, but I think you have to say that the D-League has become a big success for the NBA.
Bynum kicks to Caldwell Pope. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just total obliteration. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Cavaliers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And you can mark this one down in the W column. It'll mark their 23rd of the season.
Well, this win gives them a victory in round 1 of what's basically a 4-game fight between these teams this season.
And it will be a fight, Steve. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra meaning for the players.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for LeBron James. He just looked like an orchestrator out there, keeping his teammates involved, running to the open spots. I mean, he would constantly find them more often than not.
Here's Dellavedova. Haywood with a screen on Singlet. Picked by Haywood. Harris outside. Can't get it to go. Heaves it up. No good there. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And so now we'll go down to Doris Burke, who's standing by live with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, tonight another example of this team's excellent work here at home. What does winning here at home mean to this team?
It means a lot. It means that we come in every night and try to protect home court, and also our fans give us all the spirit and all the enthusiasm to come out and play hard in front of them. So a lot of credit to our fans that come and pack this gym every night. We're on our home floor, and our coach staff always prepare us the right way to come out and try to dominate home.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, LeBron James.